Hey guys, it's Mordecai, and welcome to a tutorial of how to take VROID models from VROID, stick them into Blender, and make beautiful renders. The first thing that you're going to need is obviously a VROID model. I have this one here that I made myself. The first thing you're going to need is a VROID model. This one here I made myself using some presets and some other stuff from Booth, which you can find a link to Booth in the description below if you need any assets for your own models or anything. There's tons of interesting things on that website that you can buy, or some free stuff. Anyways, this is my model Vex, and I've already exported Vex. I'm sort of assuming you know how to use VROID if you're watching this tutorial, but you just go up to the export button and export your model when you're finished with them, and they will be exported as a VRM. The next thing you're going to need is Blender, which I have Blender 4.1. I'm going to show you how to do things in this version of Blender. We're going to be setting up a scene, something very simple, just to show you how to work with a model. And before we actually import our model, we're going to need VRM tools. So here is the GitHub page for VRM add-on for Blender. When you get to this page, you can just search VRM Blender or VROID Blender, and you'll probably find this on Google, but I'll also link it in the description below. You just go over here to releases, click the release latest version, go down here and just click the add-on for Blender zip. You go ahead and you're gonna put that wherever you want. Mine's gonna be in my downloads folder. Once you have that, you're gonna go into Blender, you're gonna go up to edit where it says preferences. You're gonna open that and you're gonna go down to where it says add-ons. In add-ons, you're gonna go ahead and go to install, click that, and you're gonna find where you saved your Blender tools. Here it is, VRM for Blender. Then you would just click install add-on. I do not need to do that because I already have the add-on installed. But then once it's installed, you're gonna go ahead and search, and you're just gonna search VRM. And you're going to go ahead and check the import, export VRM. You can open the documentation, which will take you to the website, and it'll show you all the things you can do. You can see the VRM model, meta, humanoid, expressions, node constraint. You can read up on all of this stuff here if you would like to. I'm not going to go over that in this video, but once you go ahead and you will check this, and once you check it, it will be active, and you can go ahead and refresh to make sure. But you can also do enabled add-ons only and unsearch, and you can see what you have enabled. I have a lot of things enabled here, but you only need to have the VRM format enabled in order for things to work with a VROID model. After you've enabled the add-on, you're going to go up to where it says File, Import, and you should see VRM, VRMA as extensions. I'm going to do .vrm. You can see that it says that there is a GitLift 2.0 that is required to import VRM models, so we'll just go back over to where it says Edit Preferences, and we'll just do GLTF 2.0 format. We'll go ahead and press yes on that and exit. Then we can go ahead back to import VRM, and it should let you do it from there. You don't need to change any of this stuff on the side. We will deal with everything later. I'm going to go ahead and go into my pictures folder where I saved my Vex model and go ahead and press import VRM. It's going to take a moment, depends on how much detail is in your VROID model, so please just let it do its thing. Alright, once the model is imported, you might have something that looks like this. The first thing that we're going to do is go up to where it says cube, click on that, and then just press the delete key on your keyboard. It should go away. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to use this little arrow next to the box to collapse the colliders. Now you can see your VROID model. It's going to look something like this. Now, there is a problem right now, and I'll show you what that is, and that is that if I take this light, I'm just going to select it by clicking on it, and then go into the workspace and press G. Click the light, press G, and it's moving the light right now. You can see it's like out of frame, but here it is. Pressing G allows you to move the object you have selected. But you can see the light is not actually doing anything to the model at all. It's not changing the lighting. Even if we go into rendered view, nothing's changing. Like you can see it's like affecting the shirt a little tiny bit, but it's really not much. It's not really doing what we want. So what we're gonna do to fix this is a few things, and I'm gonna walk you through it as gently as possible. It's gonna take a little bit, but I promise it'll be worth it. So the first thing that needs to be done is I'm gonna go to where it says armature. Go ahead and click that, and then go over to this eyeball icon and click on it. It should close the eyeball, and then it will hide the armature. All you're gonna see now is just your model itself with a few little key lines here and there over top of it, but that's not gonna show up in the final product, so don't worry about that. You're gonna go to this drop down arrow next to the armature. Go ahead and click that. Then you're gonna go down to where it says body, face, and hair. We're gonna start with the body. So we're gonna open this one. So go ahead and click the arrow next to it. And then there should be a green symbol with 3 dots. We're gonna go ahead and click that one as well. And now you can see there's a bunch of pieces in here. Now each of these pieces has a material called a tune material, which is keeping Blender from shading it because it's using the emission from VROID Studio, which in layman's terms is basically just already lit up. So we're gonna go to where it says modifiers, and there's a bunch of M-Tune outfit modifiers. We're just gonna press X on all of these and get rid of them. From the modifiers tab, we're gonna go down to this material tab. In the material tab, if you scroll down for a while, you're gonna see this VRM material. Next to it, it's gonna say enable VRM M-Tune material. We're gonna click off of that. Now you're going to see that there is a harsh lighting on the model part that we just clicked off of. This is a good thing. This is what we want. So you're going to go through each part and just disable the M-Tune material. And you'll see that slowly everything's going to turn dark. And this is not a bad thing. This is exactly what you want to happen. So just go ahead and click through everything and disable the M-Tune. Once you're done with that, you're going to click the arrow next to body. And then you're going to click the arrow next to face. Go into the green icon face again, and we're going to go down into these pieces here. I'm going to zoom in so we can see the face. You're going to see some things change, and I'm going to explain how we fix this later, so don't worry. We're going to go to the face skin here, and we're going to go ahead and disable that. Now, if you're wanting your eyes to not look glowy, we're going to have to disable the eye whites as well, so we're going to do that as well. And then that's pretty much all you need to disable. If you have a dark dark character, the eyes will still glow. If you want them to not glow, I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to go to the iris and I'm going to turn this off, and you're going to see the irises are going to look really weird now. Like they have like an indent, it just looks really strange. We're going to fix that later, so don't worry. So that's all we need to do for the face. Next we're going to go up into the hair, which again, click the arrow next to the hair, then next to the green icon, and then we'll go into the hair. So I'm going to go ahead and disable the M-Tune shaders on the entirety of the hair. And you're going to see that for the nails that are semi-transparent, there's going to be a black texture that appears. You can see this right here. A black texture that appears around the nails, and we're going to fix that as well as the eyes in the next step. For now though, you can see that it's being affected by lighting, which is what we want. Now, we're going to go into this top menu here, and we're going to go to the part that says shading. Inside of shading is where we can sort of fix up some of the issues that we're having. So for example, like I said, you can see the nails, like the texture is not see-through anymore, and the eyes are looking kind of strange. And we definitely want to fix that. So we're going to go over again over here, just collapse the colliders by pressing the arrow next to the box. We're going to open the armature, and we're going to go down to where it says face. Inside of face, in the green icon again, we're going to go find eye iris, which is right here. Click on that, and we're going to go into this materials here, which you can see this little bunch. Now, it's trial and error, but I'm going to go ahead and click this one here, and I'm going to delete it and see what happens. You can see that nothing happened, and the eyes are still intact. So what we're going to do is take this alpha right here, we're going to click on that, and drag it down to the alpha down here, this one here. Click on that, and you can see that that has repaired the eyes, and they are no longer looking kind of broken. We're going to do the same thing with the nails and the hair. So I'm going to go up to the hair again, into the green, and down here, this one I'm pretty sure is for my nails. And I'm going to delete this extra texture that I do not need, and I'm going to take the alpha and I'm going to connect it to the alpha down here. And again, you can see that now the nails are showing properly and it's not showing the black box. So if you have any other textures like that on your model that have like invisible parts, you can always use this alpha trick here. You just connect the alpha of the texture image, which mine's just called 22, but yours will be called whatever. But you just connect the alpha of the texture image to the principled BSDF alpha, and that will get rid of your issues there. Now that we've fixed that, we can go back into layout, and I'm going to show you how to make a very basic scene here. Oh, actually, the bows on the shoes need to be fixed. I'm glad I caught that. So if you catch anything later that needs to be fixed, they can always go back and fix it. So the bows on his shoes need to be fixed, so I'm going to do that now as well. So I'm going to go into the body again and down here, and it's probably one of these, so I'm just going to check which one it is. So just take the alpha, connect it to the other one, there, that heart is good, and then we're going to delete this extra shader non-black and test the alphas together, and there we go, we've fixed the shoes. I think everything else looks good. I don't think he has any other alpha issues anywhere, so that should be it, just the shoes. Now we can go back to layout and I can tell you how to make a very basic scene here in Blender, especially if you don't really use Blender much like I don't. First things first, we're going to go over to this render icon, looks like the back of a camera. We're going to change the render engine out of Eevee into cycles. Let me go into edit preferences, and I have to actually get the add-on for that. So you're going to want the cycles render engine. Go ahead and press confirm on that, and then you'll be able to use cycles. Cycles is just a more in-depth render engine, and you're going to see it looks very pixely. This is normal. We're going to go down under sampling and viewport and click on denoise. Just click the check mark next to that. It's going to help a lot. And again, it's normal for it to look blurry. It's normal for it to look a little bit crazy because it is rendering in real time. It will look very nice at the end, I promise. Now we're gonna do a very simple scene. I'm not gonna add any like extra items or anything. We're just gonna have a plane in the background to reflect the shadow off of, and we're gonna just pose the model. That's all we're gonna do. So in this section, you're gonna go ahead and put your cursor on the workspace, then press Shift A, and we're going to go to where it says mesh and then add a plane. And you can see now we have a plane on the floor, which is projecting a shadow. You can go over to these tools in object mode over here. This one down here is scale. You can scale this plane as big as you want it. I'm going to make it pretty big because I want to sort of have a flooring. And then we're going to add another plane. So again, Shift A and then go over to mesh plane. This one is going to be our wall, like our background wall. So for this one, we're going to click the plane itself. So click the square down here and make sure it's the little one. You're going to press R and then Y and then type 90 degrees. Then press enter. That'll turn it perfectly 90 degrees. And then you're going to press R, Z, 90. And then press enter, and that'll turn it perfectly 90 degrees again, so it will be a wall here behind your character. Next we're going to go up to where it says move, and you're going to just move the plane backwards and move it up a little bit, and then you can use the scale tool again like we did a minute ago and just scale it up so that it takes up the background like this. It's sort of giving like a photo booth look to it. And again, it's okay for your model to look very blown out. The light we have from the beginning is very bright, and we're going to change that now. So we're going to go up to the top where this light is and just click on it. Then we're going to go down to this light bulb icon where it says data. And inside of here, we're going to turn down the watts a lot. You can just click and hold and drag to turn the watts down so that it's not so bright. You can also pick whatever color you want the light to be. So I'm actually going to make my light semi-pinkish. Not too much, but just a little bit. And again, I'm going to make it even a little bit duller than this because it's still a bit bright. I think that this is pretty good here, like 69 watts seems fine. and then we're going to move it again. So make sure you have the light selected by clicking on it up in the collection area. Go back to the workspace and press G, and then you can move the light. You can rotate the camera by holding middle mouse and just press G and move the light around to wherever you want it, because you'll be working in 3D planes. So I'm just sort of assessing if this is how I want the lighting to look. So it might take a little bit because again, Cycles is rendering in real time. So I'm just gonna have a look here. I think this is actually pretty good. I like this. I like the lighting. I like how it looks. I think it's pretty. I like the shadow here and like the big shadow in the background. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that as it is. I'm gonna go back up to where it says render and the back of the camera icon. I'm gonna change my max samples to 4000 because I want the image to be very clear and look very good in the end. So now we need to pose the character, and that's the next thing we need to do. We're gonna go back to where it says armature, and we're gonna click that closed eye icon from earlier and open it back up. And you can see a lot of the bones of your character are gonna reappear. Go up to this corner here, and you can see these different circles. We're gonna go to this one, which makes the lighting go away. This is just so that we have an easier time actually posing the character without having to see the cycles rendering the lighting while we're doing it. We're gonna go up to object mode and change to edit mode, and from here you can see the different bones. I'm just showing you this really quickly so that you can have a look at them. This is through the wall. In order to pose the character, we're gonna go to pose mode though, which is underneath of object mode and edit mode. Then you just click on a bone, which you can see I've done here for the shoulder bone. You can go to this rotate tool and you can rotate it very easily. So then you can just make a pose. I'm gonna make something rather simple because I'm just sort of trying to show you how you can do this. But you can spend as long as you want with this. You can truly make anything that you like. And at the end of the video I will show a render that I've made that's a bit more complex, involving a chair that I downloaded from TurboSquid. It was a free chair model. And I will go ahead and show that at the end. But for now, I'm just doing a basic standing pose. Nothing crazy. And this will probably be it. Now, when you want to hide the armature again, you just click the eyeball and you can check what things are looking like. Now, if you want your character to make an expression in the render, which obviously we probably do, we're going to need to go back down into our side panel here where all these properties and stuff are. You can see all these different property, like the property toolbar, basically. Inside of this orange square one, which is the object, there is going to be a bunch of VROID options under VRM. You can see that there's look at, first person, expressions, node constraint, spring bones, humanoids, and meta. We're going to be using expressions, and these will take the ones that you set inside of VROID itself on the model. So I'm actually going to use the relaxed expression and preview it at 1. You can see that this makes my character smile because my relaxed expression is smiling. You can preview any of these expressions, so I'll go ahead and set this back to 0, and I'll show you the neutral expression. And you can see that there's that one. You can do any of these, they're all here. Your vowels, your blinking, your looking up, down, left, and right, all of it's here, so you can use any of it that you want. I'm just doing the relaxed expression just as simple for the tutorial's sake, and obviously if you have any questions you can certainly ask. Now that I've set the expression and a very, very basic pose, I'm gonna go back over to the rendered mode, and I'm still liking the way the lighting's looking, and I think it's gonna look cool in the end. So what I'm gonna do from here is I'm actually gonna go up into our collections again. We're gonna click on camera, and then there's an icon here called toggle the camera view, so go ahead and click on that. Now the camera's way far away right now and we want to change the position of it. It's very hard to see, but right here by the sort of scene collection is a little arrow. You can sort of see me hovering around it. You're going to want to go ahead and click on that. It's going to open a toolbar. We're going to go into view, and we're going to lock camera to view, which is the second option. Go ahead and click that, and now when you move around in the viewport using the scroll wheel and shift scroll wheel, you can actually move the view along with your camera. So I'm not going to do a full body for this specific one. I'm actually going to do just a upper body, so probably here will be fine. And this is, now that it's set, this is the basics of getting a render done. Now that the camera angle's set and you have a pose, all you have to do is just render it, and it's going to take a while. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this, and once I do, I'm just going to warn you that it will take a while to render, especially if you're using cycles. If you use a different lighting engine, like if you're familiar with Blender and you use Eevee, it might take less time, but I prefer cycles because I like the way it looks. So we're going to go up to where it says render, and you're just going to click render image. It's going to show you this big tab, and it's going to be blurry at first, and it's going to take a while. So you just have to be patient, let it do its thing. Once it's done, it'll let you know, and once it's done, I'll come back and I'll let you know what to do from there. So just sit tight and let your image render. Okay, so the image is done. You can tell it's done when it stops showing like a bunch of counters across the top and it just shows the time it took. So once it's finished, you can go where it says image and you can click save as, and I'm gonna save mine as Vex render, save as image, and then you will have your render result. If I go into my file explorer, I can go to where I saved it and pull it up for you guys to see. Here is the finished render. It's very simple, but you can do much more complex things. You can see that this one isn't super high resolution. I didn't change the resolution at all, but you can do that. There are plenty of tutorials online about changing the resolution of the camera in Blender. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and it was helpful for you.